Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of Spotlight on the Arts. I'm Carrie Seidman of the Sarasota Herald-Tribune, and I'm here with my editor, Jay Handelman, the arts editor. And we're here to give you the rundown on this week's major arts events. And we have these two new mics, so hopefully we're coming through loud and clear.
We hope so. It seems a little weird to get used to, but
it's like two extra people here. Anyway, Jay's going to get us started.
Well, this is sort of appropriate. We've been wearing mics on our chest, and now this is a little bit more grounded, which is the name of the play that's opening Friday night.
Clever
at
transition.
Yeah, I just thought of that. At Florida Studio Theater's Stage 3 in Bounds Lab. It's a one-woman play about a woman, a fighter pilot, who gets pregnant. She's only known as the pilot, and when she gets pregnant and has a baby, she's grounded. They won't let her fly anymore, so she ends up flying military drones and monitoring them on computers and from a far distance, which is a much different experience. And it's about what impact that has on her perspective on the world and her personal life and her feelings about what the military is doing. And that's running through April 7th in Bounds Lab. It's the last regular show of their Stage 3 series, which has been fascinating, intimate productions of kind of edgy plays that really make you feel something. So it's been kind of stimulating. I'm looking forward to seeing this. And it's starring Rachel Moulton, who has been in a whole bunch of FST plays, will be familiar to the audience.
And speaking of things flying through the air,
okay,
yeah, we're going for good transitions today.
I better start working out my next one.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about this year's edition of Cirque du Voix, which is the annual collaboration between Key Chorale and Circus Sarasota and some of the musicians of the Sarasota Orchestra. Mm-hmm. It's going to be held under the Big Top at the UTC Mall. And part of the program, it's wonderful music. They have a commissioned new piece by Oleg Yellow, who has created something called Arise. And Dolly Jacobs, our favorite aerialist, and her frequent partner, Rafael Palacios, will be flying to the tunes. And there'll be a lot of other circus elements as well. So that is, and it's also a preview for a show that they're going to be doing on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. this summer.
Yeah, Circus Sarasota is going to be there for about 2 weeks doing a couple of different performances, which I think I'm going to find out a little bit more about next week. But for a few days, Key Chorale will be with them and doing this program, or parts of this program that they're going to be doing this weekend. So.
And that in Washington is part of the Smithsonian Folklife Festival.
Right.
So you get a little preview of that. That's Friday and Saturday nights at the University Town Mall.
It's Sunday too.
And Sunday
it's going
too.
Through Sunday. And so going back to the ground, Florida Studio Theater. I'm sorry, at the Players Center, they're opening the musical Footloose. Everybody's got to cut loose, right? It's a stage musical based on the hit film that starred Kevin Bacon. In this case, A.J. Calley, who's been growing up on the stages in the community theaters and in the area, is playing Ren, who is this newcomer to a very conservative town and finds out that the town leaders have banned music and dancing, and he just needs to bust out and starts a little revolution on the dance floor and in the town hall and in the churches. And that's playing through April 9th at the Players Center. Could be a lot of fun.
And here's a little fun fact that you probably didn't even know. My son's middle name is Ren, from that movie,
wow.
Actually.
So you like the movie?
I loved the movie, yeah. Actually, I loved the movie.
Being a dancer, I guess that makes sense.
And for those of you who are into ballroom dancing, this weekend is the Sarasota Challenge Dance Sport Competition, which is the competition run by Sid Pocious of Empire Ballroom Studios here in Sarasota. It's a really small comp, which is really nice in a way because it's very, very intimate. You're really up close with the dancers and with the judges. And they have a couple of great seminars on Saturday afternoon taught by former Latin champion Shirley Ballas, who is more well-known these days as the mother of Mark Ballas from Dancing with the Stars. And also with Eugene Katzovman and Maria Manasova, who are former 11-time undefeated Latin champions.
Wow.
And there's a professional show both Saturday night and Sunday night. That's at the Hyatt Regency in Sarasota, and you can go to sarasotachallenge.com for ticket information.
And you just had a story in the paper about Shirley Ballas that you can find online at Herald-Tribune.com.
Very interesting, yes. For those of you who didn't know, she helped to raise Derek and Julianne Howe, who are also... Is it Huff or Howe?
I think it's Huff.
Okay.
Well,
Huff.
maybe I've been wrong.
No, maybe I've been wrong. Anyway, those two famous people, also from Dancing with the Stars.
So you just talked about competition. I'm going to keep trying to bad transitions
Forget
here.
it. I can't keep
The different
this going.
kind of competition will be on stage actually at the Church of the Palms, where the Artist Series Concerts of Sarasota are presenting two of my favorite singers, Liz Calloway and Ann Hampton Calloway. They're sisters, and they're doing their nightclub act called Sibling Revelry. And they first did it in 1996 at Rainbow and Stars, and it sort of became what they call a cult favorite, and they've brought it back and revived it and revised it and enlarged it. There's a huge medley that they said is now huger. And they describe it as a good introduction to the two of them. They each sing together. They have very different kinds of voices. Ann Hampton Calloway does a lot of jazz and has a very sort of rich, smoky voice, and Liz has a much brighter, open sound, and they sound amazingly different and terrific together. And Liz Calloway is one of those people whose music I put on when I'm a little down or need some energy. She makes me feel good. So I am really looking forward to that. Sunday at 3 o'clock at Church of the Palms. And that's part of the Artist Series on the Road program, because the Historic Oslo is undergoing renovation. So they've been performing all over the place. And now you're thinking of a transition to your next.
No, I already thought of one. I'm keeping the competition theme going here because there are two dance groups coming into the Van Wezel this week and next week who I wouldn't actually say they're competitors, but one evolved from the other. Palabolis is a modern dance group that evolved in the early 1970s out of a group of Dartmouth College students who were forced to take a dance class as part of their physical education requirement, and created this very inventive company that kind of uses the human body in unusual ways and shapes and forms. And they'll be returning with their show Shadowland, which, in addition to the kind of the illusions that the combined bodies makes, also uses like shadow play projections on a screen. So they'll be at the Van Wezel Thursday night, which is tonight, hopefully, if you're watching this on Thursday. And next week on Tuesday night is Momix, which one of the founders of Palabolis broke off about 9 years after they started and formed Momix, which is similar but different. And they're bringing back a piece called Opus Cactus, which is based on the American Southwest and images from the Southwest. It has been on hiatus for 10 years, so they're just bringing it back now. So those are two really fun, always both of them very, very popular shows.
I knew they were connected, and I didn't really know exactly how, so thank you for that little history
And do you know where the name Palabolis came from? Another fun fact.
I don't.
It came from the father of one of the men who started it was a scientist, and Palabolis is a fungus that grows on cow dung. That's another little fun fact you might want to throw in there to make yourself.
I'm not sure that's a fun fact. And
sound
it doesn't make
really dance knowledgeable.
I'm not sure I really want to go now. And I'm not even going to try for a transition here, though I guess you could go back to the competition aspect of it. The musical Blood Brothers was a big hit in London and on Broadway, and I am not aware of any theater that has ever done it. This was in the 90s or late 80s, and it's now finally coming to our area in a production that's opening on Tuesday at the Venice Theater. It's by Willie Russell, who a lot of people know because he wrote the play Educating Rita. And it's about two twin brothers who were separated as infants and raised by different parents who meet and become friends and then have rivalries before they find out that they actually were siblings. And it stars Brian Kraft and Dennis Clark, who have been seen in a bunch of shows as their two brothers, and Elena Opie is their mother. So that's me playing through April 23rd at the Venice Theater. And I'm surprised it's taken this long for this big hit to make it here. So it's a British hit. And that's all we've got time for today, I think, unless you have something. Oh, we were going to talk about one other thing.
Oh, well, we were just going to mention that they did announce this week the lineup for this fall's Ringling International Arts Festival, or RIAF as we generally call it. And there's some really interesting stuff coming up, so look for that story in the Herald-Tribune on Thursday.
And you can read more on heraldtribune.com/arts or /ticket. Look in our ticket section on Thursdays and in the arts section on Sundays, and who knows what day for all the reviews that we're doing. So check it all out and check us back next week. Well, we'll hopefully get more
with
used
our
to these
two
microphones.
friends, Mike and Mike.
Yeah. Have a good week.